Hello, hello, and welcome back. Today we are upstairs in like the, I don't know, I guess the landing between the bedrooms up here. And today we are going to be giving this little cabinet space a makeover. So I'm kind of going to do the same type of thing that I did downstairs on the built-in desk down there. I did get approval from my landlord and I'm so excited. I feel like this is going to brighten the space up, definitely modernize it a bit, and just make it feel a lot more intentional and like its own little zone. Now this is where we keep our fish and our lizard. So the lizard's in Liam's room, the fish are hanging out on my dresser right now. I had Luke help me move these. I do need to go through and clear everything out, and then I'll go ahead and start wiping it down. The first thing that I want to do here is actually sand this wood top down to raw wood, and I'll kind of get into that in a little bit. The process of it, it's a little annoying, but it's so worth it for the end result. But that's gonna be our first step, and then we'll kind of go on from there. But I want to paint, add hardware, do all the things, and really just make this space, kind of bring it up to 2026.
I'm in love, don't care who knows about it. Can't get enough, no, I can't do without you. Spending all my time thinking about you. I think I got a crush on you.
Okay, we have everything all cleared off. I am going to like more deeply, more thoroughly wipe down the cabinets before we paint, but this is a builder grade home, and so a lot of ways that builders will cut costs is to take steps like this. Instead of doing like a full solid wood countertop, they will do plywood, and then they'll put a thin sheet of wood laminate over. And the reason they do that is because it gives the look of wood without the high cost of solid wood. When it scratches and scuffs, you can't just sand it away. Most people on the internet, when I looked into doing this at my old house originally, everyone was like, don't do it, don't do it. It takes so long, it's not worth it, it's really risky. And yes, it does take a long time. It does take a lot of patience, and it does take a lot of sandpaper. But in my experience, if you take your time with it and you use the right sandpaper, the end result is beautiful, and also you still get to keep that wood tone in there. You can then go ahead and stain it if you'd like. I really like the look of the raw wood, which is what I did downstairs. So I am simply going to sand it for a very long time, very carefully, and then I'm gonna wipe it down and do a poly coat to protect it. So the way that sandpaper works is the lower the grit, the more aggressive it is. The higher the grit, the more smooth and more gentle it is. So we are going to want to start with a higher grit. I want to actually start with a 220 grit, and then to finish it, I'll probably go a little bit higher than that to get like a really, really nice solid finish. But if I were doing like a regular piece of wood, I would actually start with like a 60 grit. So you can kind of see where you want to treat this a lot differently.
I'm so high, I'll do whatever it takes. Yeah.
All right, we have everything taped off and I'm ready to start sanding, so wish me luck. But before we jump into all of that, I did want to say a huge thank you to Quince for teaming up with me once again in today's video. I have been wearing Quince clothing for, I don't even know, I'd have to go back, but like months and months and months. I first found out about their bedding, and then when I found out about their clothing, I was like, I'm in love, it's so good. Actually, the pants that I'm wearing today are a tried and true Quince staple. But I did get some new pieces recently, and I wanted to do a little try on to share with you guys. If you are unfamiliar with Quince, they are amazing because they actually cut out the middlemen by working directly with top tier manufacturers to get you incredible quality clothing without the high price tag. Over the last several months, I've gotten tons of tops, I've gotten pants, I've gotten shorts, I've gotten all the different things, and I just always am so impressed with them. Now, before I show you some of the new items, a few things that I've shared in the past that I want to like shout out again is actually my slides. I love these and I wear them basically every single day. I feel like they look so high-end and so nice. I'm thinking of getting them in like a black maybe, but I feel like the brown just goes with everything. And then I also got my favorite ever purse. This is very simple. It's not like an oversized purse, but I've loved actually paring down and just getting something a little bit smaller. The quality of this is so incredible. It looks so beautiful. I love the texture, and it's just, I love it. Okay, first up, I have this dress, and I love this one because you can see like the button detailing down the middle. I feel like that adds so much to the dress. Also the fabric, I know you guys can't feel this, but it really feels so high quality. And then I love like the little ruching in the back. It kind of brings you in a little bit more. And then also just the stitching on the front. It kind of like cinches your waist and that gives you those really beautiful lines. Then because we are in summer, I kind of focused more on lighter weight items. So I got these very classic black denim jean shorts, and these are great because they're so comfy. They do have a little bit of stretch to them, so it makes them even more comfortable to wear. And I also love the length of them because I feel like I'm not constantly pulling them down to kind of get that good coverage. And then paired with that, I have this beautiful top. You can see it's like very lightweight. It does kind of have like that sweater material, but because it is so lightweight, it's something that's still perfect to wear even during the summertime, and also really nice stretch to it. I just love this one. Then next up, I have another pair of denim shorts. These are so cute because look at the pockets here in the front. I just like the shape of them. I think they're very fun. And because of the pockets, it definitely stands out a little bit more. But I love the fit of these. Again, you do have a little bit of stretch, which is so nice. And also, again, I love the length on these. And they're a little bit more high-waisted as well, which is just extra, extra comfortable. And then something that's been really fun for me to wear this summer is actually like these oversized button-up t-shirts. I just leave them open and I actually pair them with another Quince shirt that I have underneath. But this one is so incredibly soft. I wish you guys could feel it, and I love the color. It's like that terracotta color, which is definitely one of my favorites. And then even the hemline on the sleeve is so pretty. I just think this one is such a classic. You can kind of do everything you want to in this shirt and you just look put together. Then I also picked up a few sunglasses for the summertime. These ones I thought were stunning, but this has like that gold rim and kind of like the brown lenses. I think these are so perfect. They're very classic. You can make them more casual or more upscale, just kind of depending on the vibe and what you pair them with. And they're super comfy. And I also want you to notice they kind of have like a unique shape to them. I just think they're so pretty. And then these are the second set of sunglasses that I got. So these ones are a little bit more casual, I feel, because they do have that thicker lens, but still such cute glasses. I think these are very effortless. Again, I love finding things that make you look more put together than you actually put effort into. And these sunglasses are, again, one of those items. So I am gonna have everything linked down below if you wanna check out Quince. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, I really cannot recommend them to you enough. I recommended them to my sisters, to my friends, to my family, all the people in my life, because they really do give you a high-end quality without that high-end price tag. So again, thank you so much to Quince for teaming up with me in today's video. Now let's get back to it.
The light in your eyes comes over me just like a sunrise. You set a scene, turning my gray skies blue, just like you always do. I don't want anyone else, 'cause I know there's not anyone else that makes me feel the way you do. It's easy.
Now this is gonna be sped up, so it might be a little hard to tell, but you'll be able to see like I'm going so slow over this, and that's so that I don't go too deep past that thin little laminate. These are my favorite headphones. They keep my ear open. My kids are home today, so if they need me, I can hear some like what they're asking me for. Also, I can just hear what's going on in the background. And I can hear that I'm still sanding. Yay.
And no matter what, I'll feel the same. Hold up the world for you whenever you want me to.
These little dark spots are actually the top coat, so we won't have that once we break through all of it. Don't let the sawdust make you think we're further along than we are, because as soon as you wipe it, you're like, wait, was I not just sanding for the last 35 minutes? I decided to risk it today, and I went and grabbed, because this was taking seriously so long, so I decided to grab a 60 grit sandpaper and very carefully, I cannot stress that, very carefully and very quickly go over it, literally just to get that top coat off because all these sandpapers are covered in that top layer of like, I don't know if it's poly, but it's their protective layer that they put on at the factory. It worked really good. I'm gonna do it very quickly to show you like how quickly I work, and I'm not gonna speed this portion up so that you can see like how quickly I'm going over. I am not sitting in any spot at all. I'm like continuously moving the sander. I'm also not putting any pressure at all because all I wanna do is sand that top layer off and then let the 220 do the rest of the work because I don't wanna go through it. But I'm happy to say this is going to save me a lot of time and a lot of 220 sandpaper. Oh, another thing is I'm always like I'm doing this and then you'll see me like rubbing the sawdust off. That's so I can see and feel, mostly feel, if I've gotten that top layer off yet. And once I get the top layer off, I don't go over it again. Also, the places that I already have gotten through to the raw wood, I'm not going over that at all with this. Okay, that's it. I didn't even wear through this piece of sandpaper yet. So like, just to show you, I did that whole surface, didn't even go through one sandpaper. I was not pressing hard. I am happy that I finally did it because I let fear run my decision to only use 220. So I'm thankful that I did it, but really I think you gotta be so careful. It honestly is very tempting to me right now to go through and get more done with the 60, but it's just not worth it because when you start to see the laminate and you're just seeing into like deep in, it's not a good feeling. But now I can feel it's rough. I can also feel it's not glossy. That means we've gotten through all of the top coat and now this guy can really do some damage, the good damage. Okay, this is so random, but you can kind of see me laughing and you can see on my phone on the left side of the screen, that is my friend Lynn, and she was sending me a super long Marco this day, and it was just giving me a lot of company as I sanded my little heart out. But I did want to shout her out really quick and just let you know that she just recently did a phenomenal job on her bathroom makeover. They did it on a super low budget and it really looks incredible. So if you have not seen that video, I'm actually gonna link it up above for you guys right here. Go ahead and check it out and let her know that I sent you, but really they like knocked it out of the park and it looks so good. I'm amazed. So I am gonna sand just a little bit to make sure that everything is nice and uniform all the way across. And then before I go to poly, which I don't love poly, however, the last time I used poly, I used the Varathane poly, and I actually really liked it as much as someone can like poly who hates poly. Before I do the poly, I'm actually going to drill the cabinet holes because I don't want to deal with like kicking sawdust up on the poly or anything. So I'm gonna drill the cabinet holes. We're using the same hardware that we use downstairs and I just love this stuff. I will link it down below, and it does come in like a black and just like different finishes, but it's very simple, very affordable, and it feels like really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that drilled once I finish the sanding, which should not take long. This was not as much of a headache. I think the reason is because I did a little bit of the 60 grit, so if you're careful, I think you can do that. And it does make a difference.
They say love like this comes once in a lifetime. For the first time I believe it to be true. All of my friends say, when you know, every piece falls into place when I'm with you.
So I like to obviously get all the sawdust off, and then I do like a wet or damp cloth to get all the extra sawdust out of all the crevices. And then once that dries, that's really where you can tell if you need to resand anywhere. This is a Craig jig, and then get a clamp. You can do this without a Craig jig. You can just make your own template out of like a cardboard piece. However, this is going to make it very uniform with minimal effort. So basically you want to figure out exactly where you want your knob to go. So I already have this set from when I did this downstairs, so I already have this set at what I want. And I just kind of double checked it. On the back end, it has this ridge. So this is what's going to press up against your cabinet. So you can push this to whatever width this way, and then you put your hole down to whatever width. So you set this up, make sure you have it nice and aligned. So I'm lining it up with this ridge right here. And then we're just gonna take our clamp it on. Make sure it does not move.
Time is now to go where we want to. Follow the road until it leads us somewhere new. Nothing can stop us now. We're together. Oh, the whole world opens up when I'm with you. And you, I find a love that sets me free. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. When you hold me, I know that I have everything. It's blue skies, big dreams, a billion places to explore. And I will be with you forever. Forever I am yours.
All right, we have a lot of progress. I'm actually gonna start taking out the drawers because I do need to sand right underneath the bottom of the counter. I am gonna write on the paper, like I do 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on. And then I'm going to rip this in half, and basically one side will go on the cabinet front and the drawers. The other will go in like the section that they're on so that we can keep track of everything. So this is what I mean. Like I have 2 4s right here. So I'm gonna put one right here, and then I'll do one on the inside of this section. And then take the drawer out.
You, I found the love that sets me free. You are the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm just gonna hit the bottom of this, and then the other thing I wanna do is I have some 400 grit sandpaper just on a little block, and I'm just gonna go over this, because this, although it's pretty smooth for like shelves and stuff, for a counter I want it to be extra smooth, so I'm gonna like just almost like polish it, if you will. Then once we wipe it all off, I can go ahead and start doing poly. Now with poly, this is my favorite one that I've found so far. It's the Varathane brand, and it's water-based, which is so nice because that's not gonna yellow over time, and also I feel like it smells a lot better, and it seems kind of easier to work with. I will say you have to work a little bit quick with this stuff when it's water-based, and when you apply it, you do want to apply it with a foam brush. That is going to help you not have like paintbrush strokes. And then also, like after you apply it, especially the first layer, you want to do a light sanding on it because it can kind of like splinter the wood up because you're adding a liquid to your wood, and so we'll give it a good sand after that first coat as well. Okay, I know that I just said use a foam brush, and you should, but I don't have one actually. And I'm fighting this summer struggle of like having to run down, make dinner, take people places, do all the things, and I just need to get this on. So I have everything sanded down, wiped down really good. I am gonna do my coat with a brand new brush. The good news is I do have to do a sand, especially on the first coat. And so any brush marks that we do get, if we get any, I'm gonna sand it up anyway, so no worries. I kind of like to make it a little thick, pull it up, and then you just literally start painting it on. The thing is, you definitely want to go in the direction of the grain, okay? That's probably like the number one thing I would say to do. And so you don't want to have like big clumps of it. You just want to make sure that you're smoothing it out as you go.
I put the pedal to the pavement. From the second I saw you, baby, I was down to run the race, yeah. Could take it all the way if it's what you wanted. And I ain't never gonna hold back. There ain't such a thing as too fast, maybe.
Okay, now we're gonna let this dry, hit it with a clean sandpaper. I'm just gonna use the 400 grit, and then we'll wipe it down again, do it a second coat. And we'll see how many coats we need.
Push it higher if you want a high-speed chase. I've been a driver, girl, if you get away. I'll try to keep us out of dead ends. Been pushing 80, never less than, baby. I know this beater ain't a Benz, yeah, but if you're second guessing, just get in, yeah. Oh, I know that you hate to take it slow.
So I am going to have a little delay in being able to finish the painting of the cabinets, and I don't know if I can get it done all in one day. And so instead of starting it and then stopping it for a couple days and then coming back to it, I'm just going to go ahead and pause, and I will then be able to finish the whole cabinet all in one go. So for today, I'm actually just going to, I went ahead and wiped everything off. I'm gonna go ahead and put our little lizard back on the counter, also the fish. But I do want to protect the counter a little bit extra. So instead of just putting it right on the wood, I do have this really cute little table runner. But I thought this was so pretty. It's just very neutral, but kind of like a vintage touch. And I just think it's gonna add some pretty kind of interest to this space. So let me set this up, and then we'll get the fish and the lizard put back.
If you want a high-speed chase, I'll blame the driver, girl, if you get away. Girl, if you get away. Oh, girl, if you get away. I'll push it higher if you want a high-speed chase. I'll blame the driver, girl, if you get away.
All right, welcome back to day 3, which the other days, it was kind of part-time days, it just depended. Today we're gonna work on painting the cabinets themselves. It's the very builder grade oak cabinets. They're kind of outdated, but also you'll see this is not, there's areas like this. This is actually completely scratched off. So it's not just dirty or anything. So, some of this is, we do need to wipe it down. But anyway, I also need to tape off the edges, right over here, and then also tape along the floor. But let me show you what paint we're gonna use. Okay, so this is the paint that we're using. It's Heirloom Traditions all-in-one paint. I have used it on a furniture piece, and then I also used it on the cabinets downstairs. This is in the color Bone. It's not quite like a stark white. It's a very beautiful kind of off-white. Almost would lean towards a tan, except I want them to pop against the wall color. So that's why I'm doing the off-white here. Plus, off-white is just very classic. It's always timeless. That's what we're gonna do with this. The other paint that I always use is Beyond Paint, and I still love Beyond Paint so much. My one drawback, to Beyond Paint is that they only have a handful of colors. They will have one blue option, one white option, one tan option, things like that. Whereas the Heirloom Traditions has probably 30 color options. So there's multiple off-white options, multiple tan, multiple brown, multiple gray, multiple blue. It's just a lot nicer in that way because you can really customize your colors. So that's why I went with this one, but I really do like it, and it's held up really beautifully downstairs on the furniture piece and the cabinet. So what I found with Beyond Paint, they recommend taking your paintbrush and stippling into like any crevice, any corner, and then rolling with a 3/8 inch nap roller. So like you want the fuzzy kind, not the smooth ones, and then rolling as much as you can, rolling everything else. So I feel like I kind of still do that, especially on like the cabinet doors where those crevices are, those like little creases, and then I roll everything else. I really do try to roll as much as possible, but I think the biggest thing is you just don't want to be like painting like this, because then you will get those paintbrush lines and it won't look like a nice quality professional finish. So that's why you kind of want to stipple and then roll as much as you can.
Way back when we started, you guarded your heart away. You wanted to fight this feeling. I thought it was nothing, we turned into something else. Now when I take a look around, this is just what I wanted. I thought that we were going down. I'm so glad that I fought it, 'cause we're here now, here now. Baby, we were on and on and on and off again. But this time around, I see it through a different lens. Now that we're standing in the sunlight, now that I'm looking into your eyes, it feels right. Yeah, we were always on and on and on and off again. This time I swear it's different. We've been through our seasons, but we're doing
Okay, and really do not let that first coat scare you, because right now it looks really, really awful, really bad. It's gonna be better. The first coat's almost like a good primer. It feels like it almost like creates a little texture onto whatever you're painting, and then the second coat is like magic. It looks so good. I typically will do a third coat, especially because I have little kids. Well, not really little kids, but I have kids and I want it to be a little extra durable, but that second coat just looks so, so good. So do not let this first coat scare you. Okay, look at this next coat, look at that. Looks so good. Gotta trust that process.
But this time around, I see it through a different lens.
Okay, so I'm gonna do kind of like a thick coat around the edges in the crevices, and then we'll roll everything else. Whenever I do doors, I like to start with the backs, because eventually we're going to have to flip it to do the other side. And I would much rather, if there's going to be any mess ups where I have to touch up later, I would much rather it be on the back side of the door instead of the front. So that's why I do that.
This time I swear it's different. Now when I take a look around, this is just what I wanted. I thought that we were going down. I'm so glad that we fought it. Baby, we were on and on and on and off again. But this time around, I see it through a different lens. Now that we're standing in the sunlight, now that I'm looking into your eyes, it feels right.
took the road less traveled. And my car broke down. I'm in the middle of a jungle.
Okay, just really quickly, I wanted to share a tip for if you are needing to paint something over multiple days. This works with like little projects like this where you're using small rollers. It also works if you're doing big projects like you're painting a whole room or something. But so that you don't have to put your paint away completely and wash your brushes out and all the things when you're just going to be opening them up to paint again the next day. If you need to, go ahead and just get a Ziploc bag and stick your paintbrush and your roller and everything into the Ziploc bag, and then just try to get out as much air as you can and kind of like squeeze around that brush. That's going to really keep a lot of the air out. It'll keep your brushes from drying out and getting all hard and crusty. And then you just basically want to do the same thing, and that'll kind of lock in the paint in your paint roller. But it really is just like one of those quick little nice tricks that save you a ton of time if you're having to paint over different days.
I found a boat by a river, and I jumped right in. There was a hole in the bottom, yeah. Now it's sink or swim, oh girl. If this is no place for doubting, that's where hope is drowned. Kicking and screaming and shouting, 'cause we ain't going down. There's a voice in the distance crying out, saying leave everything that you know behind. Yeah, I risk everything for you. Can't stop loving you.
So as you can see, I'm having to pour a little bit of extra paint into my paint tray, and this is the first time that I was having to do this. So when I first poured that paint, that got the entire base of the cabinets and multiples of the coats on the other side of the doors. So I just wanted to share that because since this paint is a little bit more on the expensive side, because it is like a premium paint and it is a specialty paint for cabinets and furniture and all the things, it still is such a good deal because it's very thick and so it stretches and it goes a long way.
I swear. Can't stop loving you.
Alrighty, it's a new day, and just to be safe, plus I had lots of other things going on, I went ahead last night or yesterday, I wanted to let them dry overnight, but now the only thing left to do is literally put the cabinet fronts back on and then attach the beautiful gold hardware, and then we're done. I'll like clean up this space. This area will be all complete, and gosh, I'm gonna show you guys the before and after. The before, I still remember it, and it's so different now. I just love it. It's honestly gonna make this space feel so much brighter, definitely more modern. I just love it so much. So let's go ahead and get the cabinet doors put back on, and then I'll show you that hardware again.
I look at you, look at me like you wanna go. We're gonna leave soon, you can come with us though. So aren't you intrigued and a little bit curious? Brand new and a little bit dangerous. If you want some, here's your invitation. Take a chance, come along. You know you can. Come with us.
I wanted to take just a second to give you a little bit of encouragement if you have places like this in your home, which I feel like unless if you get a brand new home or you build a home yourself, there are always things that we want to do to our homes to kind of upgrade them and update them a little bit. Anyway, I wanted to give you encouragement to try out DIYs yourself if you are not a DIY girly. There's a lot that you learn along the way for sure, but a lot of these projects are like a bigger deal in our head. They're a lot easier than you you think, and you definitely are a lot more capable than you think you are as well. And I actually love sharing projects like this because I can break down like the little piece by piece things that I do to just change up your home completely and show that you can do it on a budget without even a ton of time investment. And also I feel like these are very accessible things to do. So anyway, I just do want to give you that encouragement. You can definitely do this and really make your home exactly what you're wanting. You can do it on a budget and you can do it yourself. I feel like I get almost all of my hardware from Amazon. You can find so many different styles on there, all different kinds of metals, and also you can do it on a budget. Like these were so incredibly budget friendly. I am gonna link these down below. I'll actually have them linked over on my LTK for you guys, which is just a place where I like to link all of my items so that things are kind of all in one spot and easy to find. But these specific knobs and pulls are ones that I'm using all around my house, and I just feel like they're so classic and timeless. They look so pretty and they add a ton to the space, a lot of warmth.
Come dance with it, dance with us. Come dance with it, dance with us. You know you can. Come with us, with us, with us. You know you can. Come with us, with us, with us. Under the stars, I see everything that led to where we are. And I wouldn't change a thing. Under the moon, all the wishing that we did is coming true. Like I got magic up my sleeve, and you can't fight the moonlight.
All right, you saw the before with that orangey builder grade oak cabinets, lots of scuffs and scratches all over it. And now I feel like the space looks very intentional. It's very, very bright and airy. It feels very lively. And this got pulled together in just a couple of days with a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of patient sanding. But as you saw, all I did was sand the top of the countertop and took away that orangey oak look and replaced it with that beautiful, more natural, raw wood look. Went ahead and painted all of the cabinets that beautiful off-white color. It really just made this space so much brighter and it pops against the tan walls. And then I finished it all off by adding hardware because as you saw, there were none to start. And I opted for the antique gold option because I wanted something that would add a lot of character while still being a timeless addition and also adding a lot of warmth onto the white cabinets because white can be a little bit stark. And so we really want to do as much as we can to incorporate that warmth back into the space. So I absolutely love how everything turned out. I'm so thrilled that I was able to do this on such a low budget. I have extra materials as well that I can continue on with these projects throughout the house to make everything feel more and more cohesive as I go. And I also love that this makeover really proves that you can do a lot without having to do too much. Like we didn't have to change out the cabinets. I didn't have to replace the countertops. There were really no big renovations, yet the difference between the before and after is massive. And I got this all done in just a matter of days. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed today's makeover and stay tuned because I have more house projects and more makeovers coming that you do not want to miss out on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.